Good morning, good evening, good afternoon. Welcome to the Living World of Darkness Rage Across New York, the Werewolf venue. This scene sees Mikhail and Garrett, the Sept's two newest Shadow Lords, on patrol doing their guardian duties, and they are currently walking along the path in front of the Red Bones restaurant, the Get-operated restaurant on the Sept's grounds, where Lucas and Maeve are headed towards. And here's to hoping they clash. So Garrett looks at Mikhail and he's kind of continuing a rant that he had started earlier, talking about all the Theruges that he had met. I'm telling you, man, I just don't understand why they forget how to talk.
I say it's lack of education.
It just annoys the heck out of me.
And it can be very dangerous, too. You imagine if one of them said the wrong word?
They often do.
Well, I mean, like, the really wrong word. Could you imagine drawing down, like, the ire of Griffin?
Or Wendigo and Grandfather Thunder, as the Sept is done.
Or Fenrir?
I'd like to see that one. To be honest, I'd actually like to see that one.
I'd like to see it from a distance.
Always from a distance.
And as the only warning that one can possibly expect when Maeve is en route, there will be a delighted Garrett! She's headed their way. They're doomed. Doomed!
I think you've been summoned.
Garrett has a look of surprise on his face, a little bit of dread. But he forces a smile.
It's everyone's favorite cub.
And here she comes. She's got spunk. I'll give her that.
I do admire her wit.
And here she comes indeed. And unless she is stopped or glared off of the process, Garrett's getting a hug. He doesn't have to like it, but he's getting one.
His arms kind of come up in kind of a defensive posture. She throws his arms around him, and he's got a cigarette in between his lips, and he just kind of doesn't know what to do at this point. So his arms slowly kind of come down and pat her on the back.
She won't prolong it. She's not that socially awkward, but she will give him a hug before backing up a step so that she can actually look them in the face. Go, I haven't seen you in days.
Yeah, the warder's training got called off suddenly. What's that about?
Oh, I'm sure she's just going through some personal things. Smile.
Personal things.
Nod, nod.
Garrett smiles. He says, "Okay, Maeve. Okay. How have you been?"
Oh, I've been all right. I mean, it's the same thing every day, for the most part. I did go on a hunt with Kailani, though, and I did really well. I did better than Emmett.
Really?
Did you really?
I did. I mean,
What
he
did y'all
caught a
hunt?
rabbit. He just reduced it to what I like to call chunky bite-sized kibbles. I actually caught and killed my rabbit a little more efficiently, with a little less outrageous enthusiasm, so that we could pass it off to the kinfolk.
Please tell me
And
that Walker frenzied on a rabbit.
oh no, he was the whole time he was on 4 feet. He was very enthusiastic. I think he's not used to it.
So he just
He gets
didn't know what
kind
he
of
was
caught
doing.
up.
Well, he is a glass walker.
Well, he knew how to do it. He did it. He caught it. I mean, he did everything right. He just he got a little carried away.
I don't think glass walkers know the way of the 4 foot just as much as the rest of us do.
That's the impression I got. He said he didn't spend enough time in it, and that's why he came, even though he's not a cub, you know. He's higher ranking, but it was good practice all the same. And I caught his tail. We were
By the
kind of,
tail.
well, we were play fighting, sort of. We were nipping, and I caught his tail. I won.
Well, congratulations.
Strikes a pose. I have now defeated the warden and the what? Darn it! What's the
The worm foe?
worm foe? Worm foe. Yes, I have now defeated the warder and the worm foe. I am mighty.
Mikhail, let her answer, please, before you butt in. She wants to learn
Why?
this stuff.
I got it.
It's a natural quirk of mine.
I understand the need to correct people and get the upper hand. It's temporary.
I must say there's something about the Tiana and the Seps beating on our warders and worm foes.
Oh, you mean Ricky?
Mm-hmm.
That was scary.
Yes, I told Garrett here all about that.
Yeah, he actually told us afterwards about the whole using it to cheer him up. So, I mean, I kind of get what happened now a little better. I thought that he was saying those things out of ignorance, and I was really worried for his lifespan.
No, he's still stupid, Maeve.
He shrugs. Olaf isn't mad. Nobody seems to be mad, really.
No. The gambit worked in his favor for sure, but it was still dumb, in my opinion.
Well, yeah.
How is Olaf?
He's good as far as I know. I mean, he's been a little busy. She kind of takes a searching look, like she's looking for the right way to put it, the right words. And yeah, he's been a little busy. He's taken some extra duties, I think. I don't know exactly, but he's been distracted, but he's still Olaf.
Mind if I do perception empathy?
Go for it.
Alrighty. Let me pull up the dice. Do 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. That is 1.
You get the impression that she knows a little more than she's saying. Not necessarily what, but she probably has a little bit of a better idea than she's leading on. She doesn't feel like an outright liar, but you can tell that she's being a little bit careful about what she says. Or at least how much she says.
Garrett will give a very slight smile and trying to avoid anybody else seeing, but he'll give Maeve a little wink. And he won't
brighten.
He won't press further because he doesn't 100% trust his tribe mate at this moment. But he'll let Maeve slide for now.
Haha. So she'll jerk her thumb back towards the building. Are you done? Do you want coffee? Lucas doesn't seem to have eaten like all day, so.
We still got some rounds to make, but
she'll
we
pout.
can all take a break and chat for a little bit.
Yes.
This does constitute as part of the bond.
Yep. It totally counts. I don't actually know what that is, but it totally counts.
So you've been hunting. Is there anything else you've learned?
She'll think about it. Think over the last couple days, trying to remember what happened when, per se. Well, there's that. I did have another lesson with Katori. Emmett was there to actually learn about the worm, I think. Learn more about it, anyways. So we talked there.
Gary will pause for a second and say, the worm foe was there to learn about the worm.
To learn more about the worm.
Okay, yeah. That's...
Katori's been around a while. I'm sure he knows more than most people about a lot of things.
No, I see. It's just... Let's just hope that position wasn't given a little too early.
She shrugs.
But go on, you visited Katori. What did he
I
tell
live
you?
with Katori now,
You
so
live there. Well,
yeah, I
yeah,
live with him in Cali.
yeah. I've come to pick you up a couple times there.
Yeah.
I didn't realize
Were
Katori lived
you?
there as well.
Mm-hmm. He has a book fort.
What is a book fort?
It's exactly what it sounds like. Do you remember as a child making forts out of pretty much everything in the house? His is made out of books.
Okay, I'll have to see that sometime. I have yet to meet Mr. Katori.
Oh, that's a shame. He's very nice.
I won't say that. When I first met him, he tried to tear out my throat.
Was there a
And she'll
reason?
think about that for a second and knit her brows. What did you... Oh, were you in lupus?
No.
Oh,
When I
well,
simply address myself as a Shadow Lord, he, his words are that he was possessed by a crazed ancestor.
oh, I
I
heard
think
about that.
I think it was more along the lines of he was possessed by thin blood.
No, no, no. Screaming Eagle's real. I've heard about him. I've heard stories. I haven't made him that mad yet.
Well,
Well,
again,
I like,
I would not put it past the spirits to do that.
and he is like Tenna. I will say that, and they are known for messing around with darker magic than most of our kind.
Head tilt?
Uktena, they keep their secrets closer than some of our tribe, actually.
Is that how all the pure tribes are? I've heard things like that before.
Well, the Wendigo is usually pretty upfront with you, in my experience.
Yeah, if they don't like you, they let you know.
Uktena, though,
So,
they have their own ways.
so she'll look probingly towards Mikhail since he's been there a little longer. Which exactly is Kachina?
What do you mean, which is Kachina?
His tribe.
Shit, what the fuck is this tribe?
I know he's one of the pure tribes.
This is what happens. This is what happens when people fall out of the habit of introducing themselves with their full titles and the,
Yes.
the tribe, the auspices. This is what happens. This is exactly what happens.
OOC, I don't know. I can't remember off the top of my head.
I'm actually OOC trying to remember if
He's
he's
Wendigo.
successfully...
Is
Okay,
it Wendigo? Okay.
He's
I-
Wendigo.
I thought so.
So then back to IC. He's Wendigo.
Oh,
And
That's
OOC,
thoughtful.
was it like a big public knowledge that he ran for mayor?
Yes, Mr.
Especially
Katina
locally.
Anawanku.
Okay. Well, okay, back in character. Garrett's going to say Kachina, the guy who ran for mayor, right?
Correct.
yeah, he told me about that.
That's interesting. That's very interesting.
I would suspect that they would rather have their kinfolk in places of public authority. I can't imagine that they would do too well with their inner wolf, as it were.
So you've been dealing with Kachina, have you, Maeve?
Oh, he's taught me all sorts of things. He let me come along while he was summoning spirits.
Oh, really?
Twice
How did
now.
that go?
It went really well the first time.
Garrett kind of motions with
And-
his hand to continue.
Well, the second time it mostly went well. But,
Uh-huh.
the last one he summoned was a little peeved, and that hurt. So I got away from that and let him finish
hurt?
that conversation by himself. Well, it was... I mean, it was black hole. I'm pretty sure it being even close to you hurts. So, yeah, that hurt.
Garrett kind of squints his eyes. His head bobbles a bit. He doesn't know what black hole really means, just that it sounds very, very bad.
Yeah, what exactly is black hole?
She points up.
little interjection, probably a very, very small voice, simply says, a black hole is what happens when the very, very big mass of a star goes ahead and violently explodes and then collapses in and on itself, creating a very, very super dense portion of space, so dense that the effects of gravity, even on particles of light, cannot escape it.
She'll
Garrett
turn to
clap-
Lucas, who is really good at popping up and stating random things about astronomy, and nod.
Garrett claps his hands and thank you, Lucas. So he summoned the very concept of the black hole, is what you're telling me?
She nods.
He did this in the set?
Nope.
Oh, thank God.
No, we were over on Long Island. He was summoning things to protect the new Cairn, and I think Black Hole was something he was doing at the end to discuss for himself. But I've seen him summon all manner of spirits, and they were all very nice, and several of them even talked to me and had them protect the new Cairn.
I would very much like to meet this Mr. Kachina.
Well, he's pretty easy to find. She points in a vague direction. He actually has a big casino off that away, and most of the day he's there.
Well, when I find the time, I will have to pay him a visit. And his face gets a little serious suddenly.
She'll knit her brow. Don't you
You
go
are
and make
lucky.
him mad at me. He's going to teach me how to make something.
Maeve, you need to understand, you got kind of lucky.
Well, he warned me in advance that this was a bigger being than the others we had summoned, and so I was warned and in hispo and ready to tear out.
He should have made you leave the entire area.
I can't learn if I don't see.
No. This is not about learning.
This is safety.
Now, I've told you I didn't want to see you coddled, right?
Well, yeah.
This is not coddling. Coddling is okay. Let's use an analogy. Let's say you're a martial arts student. If the master spars against you and he doesn't hold back, he comes at you with everything he's got. That's him not coddling you. That's him trying to push you to be your best. What Kachina did was, as the martial arts master, threw his student into the cage with a hungry tiger.
Well, more accurately, it was like he himself went into the cage to show me how to defeat a hungry tiger, and I was standing close enough to the bars that I got a little bit of a swipe.
There are no bars to a spirit that powerful.
But it was focused on him, because he was the summoner.
But you got hurt, you said.
A little bit. I was fine. It draws from you when it comes down.
And what would happen if it drew too much?
I'm sure I would have died if it had kept drawing, but that's why the moment that started, I got out of the circle. I got out of the summoning. I moved away.
And don't we have, like, your family coming here soon?
I don't know. I mean, people keep saying that, I mean, like, my parents maybe, but I don't think Uncle Braun is just going to put down all his responsibilities and come all the way out here.
Could you imagine what it would look like for him to find out that we have one such as you, high blood, and that we just willingly endangered your life to the point that we killed you out of
Admittedly,
negligence?
the term high blood is used, and she kind of rolls her eyes like she's heard it too much. She's not like in a disrespect to him personally, but just, oh God, not again. But she nods and says, international incident. I know. I use those words a lot now.
While Garrett and, while Mikhail and Maeve are going back and forth, Garrett's going to go over to Lucas and lean in and whisper.
Mm-hmm.
Has anything come of this? Has Kachina already been talked to, disciplined? This is ridiculous. You should not expose a cub to that kind of crap.
Lucas is gonna go ahead and bring his face closer to yours and simply says, My dear Raya, if you find that this is an issue towards the safety of this cub, perhaps you should bring it up to one of the Philodoxes or Kachina himself.
I intend to. I just wanted to know if someone else had already gotten to him.
As of right now, I know of nothing. I know that nothing has happened.
And don't fucking call me Raya.
Meanwhile, Maeve is going, oh, well, I mean, Katori gave him permission to take me on things, blah da 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 da.
Oh, of course, the one who can't control his the voice inside of his head.
She sticks out her tongue. He hasn't done it to me.
Yet. That is the word you're looking for. Yet.
The only time he ever mentioned that he might have had to bite me was at the very beginning. I came and met him in Lupus, and he was testing me to see if I understood basic body language, things like not looking him in the face, things like knowing how to bare throat or knowing how to approach and how to behave. And I
So
passed.
the proper forms of hierarchy and submission are important. I will give you that.
Well, especially in that shape, I imagine a lot of people who start as human don't understand it. I'm lucky and I've lived around a lot of animals growing up.
So, Maeve, back to the spirit summoning. Since you
Like-
were put through it, what did you learn?
I learned a lot about the various spirits and the fact that they are of different ranks and power, and that you don't pull a black hole out of the sky for nothing ever. He said he could have gone to the sky to visit him, but that was certainly too dangerous for me, and so he couldn't have brought me along, so if I wanted to see, he would have to do it there.
The lesson
I learned a
that I
lot.
would hope you get from this is one that I've told you before, that the spirits are very unpredictable and dangerous.
She nods.
Someday you may be able to make Black Hole your bitch for all I know. I just hope that you properly prepare to do it. And don't just say, oh, now I'm going to summon Black Hole with a cub nearby.
Oh no, I'm enthusiastic and all, and I like it, but I'm not going to go trying to take on things 10 times my size. I think the biggest thing that I'm going to approach besides that is the moon, and from what I'm told, I have a lot of an affinity with the moon, so in exchange for Kachina teaching me and showing me all of these different spirits and bits of how they're summoned and the kind of chiminage they expect, I will go with him to the moon to speak for him.
And again, be prepared and be careful.
She nods.
Because we're not just talking about a moon spirit. We're talking about Luna. The very spirit who decides our auspice role.
I've been
Yeah.
worshipping Luna since I was very little. I understand.
I hope so.
No, I will be careful, and if you're that worried, I can ask Katori to come with us, so that I have someone else looking after me.
If it was someone else other than him, sure.
Well, I know you
No,
don't like him, but
Tori
he's-
is the den father. It's his duty to look after cubs.
Well, it's not about me liking him or not liking him. It's more about me not trusting him.
Does he know about the incident?
What, about the black hole?
Yes.
Yes. He was there when they healed me, and had to cleanse me afterwards.
What was his reaction?
Katori doesn't usually let me see much reaction. He thinks about the things I say, which I appreciate, because he doesn't just tell me no or tell me I'm wrong. When I say something, he seems to think about it, and he says okay, and then the next thing I know, he's done whatever he's supposed to do about it. He goes off and handles that without me there, but he knows.
Okay. We'll see which one of us gets to Kachina first, because I cannot possibly imagine the den father liking that.
He probably doesn't. I'm sure he'll talk to him. I don't know if that was his plan from the get-go or what the deal was, but I'm pretty sure that Katori will talk to him about it. He didn't seem... I mean, he never seems mad, not unless something goes really sideways, but he seemed like, yeah, he'll do something about it, I'm sure.
You notice that Lucas goes ahead and rubs his face. I must be sleeping. We haven't even decided to invite you people over to late night dinner.
I did, and then we talked, sorry.
No, Maeve invited us, but me and Mikhail here, we're actually on duty, guardian patrol.
You can't just take a little break? Like, coffee break?
We can bring you coffee.
We can bring you coffee.
Hold on a second. And Lucas is going to step away, presumably to go get some coffee.
Blink.
Garrett looks to Maeve. Don't the Get own that restaurant?
Yeah.
Yeah, if you bring us coffee, that should be okay, but it'd probably be a bad idea if some Get saw me and Mikhail screwing off on duty.
Ah, no, I get it. For a second, she looked a little brown-knit, sort of thoughtful, but that makes sense, so she'll let it go.
And now you are in the Shadow Lord Circle of Trust. Isn't that right, Mikhail?
That is correct.
So now you cannot tell anybody about this little break, or we will have to kill you.
She nods firmly. She doesn't seem especially worried about it.
Actually, that's not what would happen. We would just work behind the scenes to destroy you and your reputation.
It shouldn't be hard. Everyone already says I have a bad reputation for hanging out with Lucas all the time.
Well, you're a cub and he's a can. There really can't be too much trouble, unless the Fianna are very peculiar about who you're associating with.
Now, Lucas was vetted by the Sept Beta. Anybody who still has a low opinion of him has other agendas.
She nods firmly and looks very pleased.
Maeve, I actually wanted to talk to you about that situation. I know Lucas is no longer under suspicion and all that, but there was a very troubling aspect to it.
The fact that I went way over Travis's head and had to go apologize to him for it?
Oh, no. I already told you. I respected that, right?
You were definitely there, and I appreciate that you tried to help.
No, where my concern is, it's more of a general Sept operational kind of thing.
You mean like the fact that that's been a problem since long before I came here and I had to fix it?
Oh, no. Riddle me this, Maeve. Imagine that there was an actual enemy hiding among us in this Sept.
Okay.
Wearing the skin of another person, has every intention of bringing us down from within. Let's say I suspect that person for any number of reasons, whether they're good or not. Do you think it's a good thing if that person comes to find out that they are under suspicion?
Well, no, of course not. That was kind of part of my argument. Because, I mean, he knew something was wrong.
What sticks in my craw is how Lucas ever found out.
She shrugs. Several people told me. Some of them even in his company.
Are you serious?
She nods.
Was Lucas already aware when they discussed this?
Yeah, I think so.
Okay.
He seemed to already know something was up when I met him. That's why he was so shifty all the time.
Still troubling though.
Well, I mean, yeah, it was terrible.
So they think it's a good idea that they suspect somebody of being in service to the worm, so they're going to spread it around for everyone else to hear and let it go back to him. Because
I don't think that was the plan, but I think Travis doesn't know who to tell things to and who not to tell things to. That or the people he told don't know who to talk to and who not to.
As dumb as Travis was to open his mouth to as many people as he did, he still didn't tell Lucas. And
Maybe the people who told him already knew or felt that it was not true, and since it was something that hadn't been handled in so long. I mean, if everyone was acting weird around me, I'd want someone to tell me why.
But sometimes that's not really the proper way to handle things.
Well, no. I mean, if you think about it, the fact that everyone knew that Lucas was suspected, but none of us knew about the two maybe kind of sort of black spiral dancers out in the city, seems kind of backwards.
I agree.
That has been one of my biggest complaints so far.
Well,
I heard the Howl in the Umbra that Olaf did, and I disagree heartily with that as well. Seems like making the same mistake to me.
well, I mean, at least we all know now. And even if they know, can they hear that?
If they are running Byru and capable of going into the Umbra, then yes.
Oh.
At this point, actually Lucas makes the point to go ahead and grind his boots into the gravel pit just outside of Red Bones so that people don't think he's fucking sneaking around. And return with
Lucas.
3 foam cups full of coffee, various sugar packets, and some cream in his hands.
Oh,
Hello?
well, yeah, thank you. Is that one for me?
Yes, it is. Take it. And there's some sugar if you want it, some cream if you need it.
No. I like it bitter.
Fair enough.
It's refreshing
Garrett.
that the can is so well placed.
Does it make any comment for that particular remark, but simply hands you the coffee and sugar and cream if you need it.
Mikhail smiles at you. It's not meant out of malice.
Garrett will take one of the coffee mugs or whatever and take a sip. That warms the soul. But Lucas, we were just talking about you, as I'm sure you heard.
My ears, they don't extend that far, sir.
Oh, okay. But I'll go ahead and tell you anyway. I'm curious how you came to know that you were under suspicion.
You want to know the exact point? The exact moment?
Sure.
When the warder comes in to a very, very small wolf den that you're currently sitting in and tells you that he remembers you and he doesn't know you, but he remembers you, and you can just go ahead and start to smile, your bleeding heart out as quickly as possible. You're sequestered away, and there's a very, very anxious, loud talking coming from that same den, and you realize the kind of bullshit background that you got, and you start to think of all the bullshit that comes after it, and then people start to look at you fucking funny, and then they start whispering behind you, and then I'm just Lucas calms down just for a little bit.
I got you. Thank you.
Maybe we'll give him a little pat on the back.
Oh,
No.
he's a little bit elated.
When you say the warder, you mean the current one or the prior?
Kelly at the time was not the warder.
So you refer to Blitzkrieg.
Let's see. Blitzkrieg Raya. Was it Blitzkrieg Raya? I don't know. The position has changed hands a few times over this particular season.
Well,
Honestly, the scene is as I went ahead and tried to describe it to you. Travis Moran saw me, did not know who I was, questioned me. I was sequestered away. There was a very anxious conversation, the content of which I did not hear. But since then...
No, I got you. You were able to intuit it.
Mm-hmm.
That's, not judging you, Lucas, at all. I'm just trying to suss things out because If I was the one suspecting you, you'd have never known.
The best secret is the one that's kept.
I make no judgments upon my Rayas.
And that is wise. I will say
Uh,
that.
Mikhail here is a little bit of a stickler for the rules, but seriously, stop calling me Raya.
Very well, sir.
Or sir, or any other dumb honorifics.
Fine, Garrett. I'll go ahead and talk to you
Thank
straight
you.
and plain.
Thank you. That's all I ask.
Simply, you really only need to use the terms in our proper setting. Right now, you don't need to use those.
But you gave me my answer. You said Travis.
But eventually,
So
That'll
Maeve
come in
kind
handy.
of perks a thoughtful brow.
I mean, he got a lot of the dust up. All that crap.
I do not know as much of the story that you actually want to hear. That's what I can give you right now.
That is the answer as far as I'm concerned. Travis and myself, we both were concerned at how you came to find out you were under suspicion. I don't think he'll be too pleased to learn that it was him that caused it.
Looks
Nope.
at you quite intensely. Please do not make this worse for me, please. Garrett, I'm begging you.
I'm not.
That cigarette.
I'm well aware of Travis's mood towards you.
If he makes it bad for you again, I will bite him this time. I will do it.
Just know that it is a subject that is on his mind,
Okay.
and he may come back to me with it.
Garrett,
Yes?
do you know how much people actually pick up?
What do
He's
you
looking
mean?
at you with like this incredulous fucking face. He's got his eyebrows all whacked up. He's a very, very pleading, questioning face when he says, "Do you realize how much people pick up?"
I know very well, Lucas.
Good. Then you know that the kin around here, they often know a lot more than they're supposed to.
I know.
And you know that sometimes that kind of information you're not supposed to have. The one thing I don't want to have happen right now is for anybody to get in trouble simply for telling it like it was.
We can prevent
I'm
that.
going to let you in on a little secret.
Mhm.
I was kin like you once.
Oh.
Knowing, fully aware, and integrated into the society. Now, I never had a moment of complete bullshit like you had to go through, but I had my trials.
Mhm.
You're fine, as far as I'm concerned. As far as me and my actions, you're fine.
The questioning stare, the almost fucking pleading for you to try to sympathize with this poor fucker, goes ahead and breaks, and his features go ahead and smooth over, gives you a warm smile. Thank you, Garrett. That really means a lot to me.
He nods.
Enjoy your coffee.
Now, Mikhail,
Yes.
unfortunately, I cannot make the same guarantees I made to Lucas here, as far as you're concerned.
In regards to
To what was just discussed.
I can handle myself.
Oh, no doubt. Just, there's no real need to further this issue as far as I'm concerned. Travis If he continues to search for whoever leaked the information to Lucas, which was himself, he'll be chasing his own tail, quite literally. I say let him.
It is his mistake. He needs to carry the reminder of it.
Maeve's grinning.
Any other concerns, Lucas?
I don't suppose so. Any right now. I've already gone ahead and given my 2 cents to all the people that need to have it.
Good for you. And he seriously nods, like with a very approving face. Good for you.
Fortitude is to be respected.
I hate to think that I'm just becoming a model here for you to go ahead and compare the others to. That's not what I'm here to do.
Yeah, Mikhail, I thought you hated mouthy kinfolk.
I think hate is the wrong word.
She'll cover her mouth with a hand.
I have certain objections to how other tribes handle their kin. No, it's not my place to step in and correct them. But when you see something that you just strongly disagree with, it does sort of impact you in a certain way. So I do not hate anybody of Gaia's children, I should say. But I do have
Perks up at that one.
Garrett's actually laughing.
But I do have a dislike towards coddling and pampering those who really just shouldn't be treated as such.
Are we doing that in the Sept?
I've seen instances of it, yes.
I'm totally coddled. Ask Travis.
Well, you're a cub.
Yeah, it's more than that.
I've interacted with a number of the kin all over the Sept. Doesn't matter from which tribe I went ahead and talked to. Each one of them went ahead and told me of a very, very full life, full of work for the nation, and a feeling of blessing, as well as a certain amount of pride in it. I can't imagine any one particular kin amongst us that doesn't feel this way.
Well, this is my burden. I bear it.
Well, lay your burden at our feet. Perhaps we'll be able to enlighten you.
Well, the next time then it comes up, maybe I will.
And Lucas is not going to push that any further.
Neither will Mikhail.
Well, that's okay, because Garrett will. Mikhail here thinks the troublemaker, his name escapes me because I wasn't there.
Ricky O'Malley, son of Mally O'Malley.
The Fiannakin.
He thinks he should have had some consequence, let's say, to his actions.
Well, he did almost get torn apart.
I will say this. Should he deserve any reprimand for any actions that he may have performed coming on to the bond, there are several people that you may get in contact with, such as his tribal elders, the Fiannakin themselves.
I don't need to know about what I need to do.
All right, fair enough.
Well, as the Warder have already forgiven him, there's no more that I can do. As such, I take it as such. The Warder has forgiven him. Olaf's forgiven him. It's not for me to step in and stir the fire, as it were.
Like I said, almost getting torn apart is a pretty severe consequence. I can't believe he caught Olaf's paw.
That was pretty badass.
That
Well,
was pretty badass.
I think flipping Callie was a little bit more noteworthy.
There was that too, but he thought she was attacking him.
Garrett kind of strokes his goatee. So you really weren't lying, Mikhail.
Oh no, he threw her. It was pretty
Pretty badass.
wild. Yeah, they were both in
badass.
Krynos when
It
he
was
did these
badass.
things.
It was
It was
incredibly and utterly badass. Probably
it
the most
was
badass
totally
thing I've
badass.
seen in the entire fucking time I've been here.
That was pretty much as badass gets.
Careful, Lucas. You might enjoy that too much.
Maybe I will. But he just goes ahead and puts a fist up in front of Maves to go ahead and say, fist bump. Fist bump.
She fist bumps.
Badass.
Kinfolk power.
So badass.
Kinfolk unite.
He was ridiculous. But he didn't seem to be a bad guy, so she shrugs.
It definitely seems like cooler heads prevailed there.
Somehow.
No, I don't think his. I told Mikhail this. I don't think his head should have been put on a spike or anything like that.
And I agree. I wasn't wishing for death.
Any other Sept, there would have been some consequences. Provoking one of us into a frenzy. That's like beyond the actual insult that did it.
I think he was trying to apply a human tactic to a Garu problem, and it wasn't the wise thing to do, but
No.
then again, I mean, if you talk to him for even 10 minutes, you'd know he doesn't know a lot about the Garu.
I'll just say he's lucky it was Olaf.
He was lucky that Olaf got a handle on himself and managed to tear something else up instead.
Callie's another story. I'm not sure how he managed to escape her wrath.
Well, it was an honest mistake, and honestly, with all the bluster, I think she was just shocked to the point of laughing. She seemed to think it was funny by the time it was all over. I mean, how many kinsmen throw a Krynos over their shoulder?
You have to understand the Black Theory really don't tolerate male intrusions.
Garrett, Sir, Maeve, I think the only one here that can possibly have any grievance towards the way that O'Malley entered the Sept would actually have to be the Keeper of the Land, because he did tear up the place with his motorcycle. Many people have forgotten about that one.
He did also hand over a giant sack of cash for the Sept.
And I will give him credit. He did.
He actually came to pay his dues, apparently. So he brought in a giant sack of cash with him for the Sept.
Grease the palm. Why didn't I think of that?
You're still young. Don't worry.
Who is the Keeper of the Land, by the way?
Previous Keeper of the Land, I believe, was Kelly Krykos. I think she has since left the position to take up the warder position. I do not know if it has been filled by anybody at this time.
I think that Katori, I can't remember which he was asking for, but I think that Katori mentioned that he was hoping to gain that position. I can't be sure because I can't remember at the time I didn't know them all very well. I didn't know all the titles, so he may have been talking about another one, but I think that is the one that he said he was hoping to get.
Double duty all around.
He would still be my mentor either way, even if another person took up his den father or den mother. I think Olaf would be a good den father. Firm not.
I think Olaf can be groomed into a proper warder myself. No offense to Callie, but I think Olaf has that certain spark that's needed.
He probably could. Olaf could do a lot of things. He's a pretty cool guy.
He is a multifaceted individual.
Indeed he is.
He's got a mean streak, I'll tell you that.
Well, I mean,
He does have
he's
the fire.
Garu. And actually, you can P&E Maeve.
Who?
Especially having seen Olaf's temper.
I'll
Garrett.
take that.
Yeah, go for it.
That's
Yeah.
any
I'll
I
go
have a
ahead and take the
specialty
opportunity.
for
Yeah.
body language.
Yeah, you can, especially with 3 successes, you can certainly tell that, like, Maeve has also seen a nasty side of his temper, so she kind of, when she's dismissing it as, well, we're Garu, ha ha ha, yeah, you catch that, no, she's actually seen it. She understands exactly what you're talking about.
You
And
saw a
Lucas will
frenzy,
catch
Maeve?
too, probably.
Okay, fair
Oh,
enough.
no, it wasn't the frenzy thing.
Lucas, for his
So it was a
part,
separate part.
Actually, wasn't it that scene? Like earlier that scene? Didn't he yelled at Maeve?
He, well, yeah.
Yeah, because that's when Callie basically told him about Maeve has to stay on set at all times and stay away from the city because of the Ronin black spirals.
Yeah. She was pretty upset that we'd run into Sarah. I mean, no one had ever told me, though, there were people out there that specifically we should be afraid of, and we didn't even have a conversation, really. She just commented on my coffee and then left the coffee shop. It's the same as you would do with anyone standing in line for coffee. But
Wait, you
there
came face to
is
face with the Ronin?
there is a distinct chill in the air, and the only bit of warmth in you two gentlemen is the coffee cup.
yeah.
Out of character, I'm not sure how to take that.
It's a reminder that, go figure, it's fucking cold outside.
Okay,
Who wouldn't want a
okay.
coffee?
I didn't know if that was some kind of supernatural crap going on.
No. If it was a supernatural crap, I'd ask you to go ahead and roll your primal urge. Just
Okay.
drawing the parallel between that situation that's being described and what you're
Gotcha.
currently
Dramatic-
holding.
Gotcha.
And I mean, the place was even on the way home, between the sept and the apartment. It's not like I went out of my way.
But wait, Maeve, you encountered the Ronin.
Yeah. She said she liked cinnamon dolce lattes. Because that's what I ordered while we were standing there waiting for our coffee.
Okay,
And then by the time Olaf came over, she was leaving.
Garrett gets real serious. His face looks like it does in the animated GIF right now. And he says, Maeve, if
I
these
know.
Ronin are, I know you know, but I'm reiterating, if these Ronin are what people are saying they may be, you have to understand you are a prime target for them.
You're
Why
fresh.
would I be?
You are fresh blood. You are pure blood. So they would love to get a hold of you.
Beyond all that, you're a young cub who's filled with wonder and curiosity, and they will prey upon that.
No, don't worry. I don't get to make any new friends. Between the people walking me home and back, I'm pretty sure no one is going to have the nerve to come anywhere near us. So, not even the
And I
muggers are
hope
going to
you
come
have
close
the
to me.
wisdom to be willing to deal with it.
Well, of course. I mean, I already was supposed to have a Garu to leave Sept anyways. Now it's 2, which seems a little excessive, but where else am I going to go? The only other place I want to go is home, and I already would have had to have someone with me to do that. And now that I know more about them, more about what they might be, I don't know if I even want to go home. I don't want them to know where my parents are.
Garrett looks to Lucas.
Hmm?
And I'm not too sure how to handle this, but like he's trying to send a facial expression to ask something. I don't know if you need to make a P&E roll or.
How about this? This is a bit of innuendo, right?
There's an implied question in his facial expression. Yes.
All right. So how about this? Either manipulation or charisma subterfuge, just so that you can very subtly pass on this facial expression only to Lucas, so that the other two don't catch it.
Okay, what skills did you say again?
Uh,
Manipulation, subterfuge?
Subterfuge.
Yeah, that's probably the strongest way for you to do it.
Okay, so that is 6 dice. Do. Holy crap.
holy,
Oh,
all the
Good
successes.
man.
I don't think.
No specialty, but yeah.
Good man.
Fuck. He only gets one success. You're able to. Okay, you have a very, very brief window that Lucas is actually perceptive on. What are you trying to indicate here?
Okay, well, given the topic is Maeve being a target for potential spirals, he's kind of asking Lucas for permission to bring up something that he knows Lucas is very closely tied to.
He just goes ahead and shakes his head.
Shakes it?
Yeah. There's like a pleading in there, not a command, just a simple pleading.
Garrett licks his lips and smiles. You really don't want me to bring it up, do you?
I would prefer not, but I do not control your actions.
No, I know you don't. I was just offering a courtesy. I'm just more surprised that you wouldn't want me to impart a lesson on the Maeve here.
I've already heard it. I've heard about that a lot. It's all I heard about when I got here. Because everyone thought I needed to be scared so I wouldn't spend time with Lucas. And then, since that's been handled, I've spent time with Katori, and he taught me the details of the things they do to people. I understand. It's bad. And I don't want that. I don't want that to the point that I'm willing to not see my family to keep them safe too. Because they'll go after kinfolk just as much.
That is correct.
My point is you just need to expect the unexpected, especially when dealing with these kinds.
Well, thankfully now I know they're there, and I know what they look like or what to look for. And honestly, it's not like I know many people in this city. The only person whose name I know is Mr. Mathis over at the bookshop. That's pretty much it. I don't mind. I'm used to living outside the city. I'm used to not being part of it. Though, like Laughing Shadows pointed out, it's not like anything keeps them out of here either. She kind of points around to the closest high point, whether it's the
I walked
Fiona
right in
Castle
here.
or something like that. I mean, people walk through the park every day. So many people from the city walk through the park every day, and Laughing Shadow pointed out that. And then a couple other places, high places, where they could go and just watch us.
It's just if you think for a second that it can't happen to you, that you can't be influenced, you're wrong.
Those are incredibly wise words.
She kind of knits her brow. I don't think I can greet every single person I meet with that kind of suspicion.
I'm not telling you to live your life risk-free. That's impossible. It's just you know the threat. Don't underestimate it.
She'll nod.
He's not wrong.
She'll look a little startled to hear it from Lucas and glance aside.
Thank you, Lucas. I was praying to God someone would back me up other than another Shadow Lord.
Do you think I wouldn't listen to you just because you're a Shadow Lord?
I don't know, Maeve.
Even after the advice you gave me, if the things you say ring true, if it's good advice, it doesn't matter whatever else. It doesn't matter what tribe you come from. Good advice is still good advice.
My words have fallen on many deaf ears. And none of us can afford for you to be as deaf.
Then it's a good thing I'm not. At least I know that there's something out there now. I mean, I know what to look for and I know what to worry about, but she kind of shrugs. I'm not going to let it control everything. I'm not going to let it control my life, but at least I understand. Before, what I was trying to say was that it was ironic that when there was actual suspicion and there was one person that shouldn't have heard or shouldn't have known, he did. And then when something like this happens, where there's someone who's truly dangerous living here in the city, and I'm one of the most vulnerable people here, and I didn't know. A lot of people didn't know. Olaf didn't know. The only reason we knew anything had happened was because Olaf went and got a nose full of her as she was leaving and realized she was Garu. He couldn't sense her rage. It's only because he truly looked that he even guessed.
I wish I'd have been there.
I wish you had too.
You were there, Lucas?
Blink, blink, blink. What do you mean?
Well, you never leave her side, so I'm just assuming you were there.
I wasn't there. I didn't see her.
This is not an accusatory statement. I just wanted to know what you saw.
Sorry, Garrett. I didn't see it. I wasn't there.
Alrighty.
I was looking for the perception empathy on that one.
Yeah, I was going to call you on bullshit.
And try to call him on it.
Do it.
All right, sure. Nope.
One success.
Nope. I believe you were telling the stone cold truth.
I got one success. I'll go ahead and declare myself the defender here.
You are the defender.
Well, you win.
Well, there you go.
Kyle knows he knows there's something more to it, but he just can't prove it.
He's so sure. But no. So yeah.
Out of character, I have no zero clue why you'd lie about it.
Out of character, well, he was in the coffee shop. He didn't see the exchange or anything else besides that. But Lucas is still... He doesn't know who he can trust.
Yeah, no, I get that.
He's covering his ass.
Pretty much.
Ain't nothing wrong with that. You should just come over to the Shadow Lords. We'll take care of them.
Oh dear Lord, if he becomes a Shadow Lord, Ken, oh my God. It would make so much sense.
We'll make sure that he receives the proper knowledge and treatment. The perfect little spy that we could have placed around the sept. Everyone loves him.
They do.
See, he should
They
be a
do now. I made sure of it.
Well, to bring it back in character, Garrett will glare at him, of course, and say, all right, fair enough.
He's not
I'm a little surprised,
always
but...
with me.
No, I get that. I just, Maeve, there's been very few instances where I've spoken to you that he hasn't been there. So forgive my
She grins.
assumptions.
Stupid
But I
grin
will say
on
this.
Lucas's face.
I will say this, Lucas.
Hmm?
I know you spend a lot of time around her. And I would
True.
hope you remain vigilant.
Garrett, I am vigilant. I've been vigilant for a very, very long time. You heard the stories, right? About how long me and everybody else ran for? 1 second is all it really took. 1 second is all they really need. I'm vigilant. Don't worry.
I like you.
Maeve seems delighted by this declaration.
I don't say that to a lot of people, but I like you.
I'll definitely take the compliment, my dear Raya. Moving on the topic of discussion to something a little bit less grave. Looks over at Mikhail. Did he actually take the coffee? And did he take any sweetener
took
or
the
sugar?
coffee. No, he just took the coffee black.
Ah. Oh, okay. He goes ahead and looks at the both of you. Looks at the unused cream and sugar packets in his hand. Goes ahead and stuffs it back in. I'll remember that you two like your coffee bitter and black.
Oh,
Would
you know what
expect
else?
Anything else?
I caught a rabbit, but you know what else?
What's that?
Lucas caught a rabbit.
Goes ahead and nods his head. Yep,
And
Bare-handed.
barehanded. Well, I shouldn't say barehanded. He goes ahead and takes his red hunting cap off and sort of mimics the motion of swooping into the grass with his hat. More like with a single hat.
Yep.
Okay, I want to roll to see if you're lying.
Well, please do so.
Please get lots of successes.
Is it perception empathy, or would it be like a perception subterfuge kind of thing, or whatever?
Whatever you choose, my good sir. Whatever gets you the best dice pull.
I think it'd be perception subterfuge, actually.
Fair enough.
Because this isn't how you're feeling. This is just flat out bullshit that he's
Oh
trying
yeah,
to
it
call.
is.
And up to you. Okay, no specialization applies, so I get one.
You sense no deception in his voice. The story is still quite ludicrous, but the way he's like scooping it up, it seems like he's practiced his motion.
You know what?
Actually, it seems like he's practiced motion several times before.
I'm gonna try this and use charisma expression to back him up. I'm gonna take my extra dice too. God damn it. So let's see. But she's backing him up. She seems very earnest.
No.
Okay.
You can't just say he's looking very. You gotta tell us. Rant. Give us the rant.
Oh
Give us the
yeah,
monologue.
she's like, no, he did. We were hunting and we struck into the rabbits, and I got mine and Emmett got his, and while Kailani was chasing some of the others, one of them ran past where Lucas was waiting, and he had the hat, and he scooped it up. So we came back with our kills, and I came prancing out of the grass, and he had a rabbit in his hat.
Impressive.
Okay, Garrett knows the Lucas's and Maeve's relationship.
Oh, does he?
He does. I think he spent enough time around the both of them at the same time to realize that there's a certain childlike innocence there. So basically, I think Garrett would take Maeve's addendum with a grain of salt.
Mm-hmm.
But
Does he look skeptical?
incredibly.
No, ask Kailani. She was there. She was the one teaching us to hunt. We painted its toenails.
Wait, what?
Well, okay, so we knew that he'd caught the rabbit, and he actually got it to calm down and was petting it. And we thought about it, and we went, well, if we just let it go, Kailani will end up eating it eventually. I mean, it's only a matter of time. And back home, when we were trying to tell chicks apart when we had large hatchings of chicks, you use nail polish to either mark their fluff or mark a bit of their leg or mark their foot because they can't get it off. It doesn't hurt them in any way, but it's a very clear identification for when you have a bunch of farm animals and you need to tell them apart. So I told them to go get nail polish, and he painted its nails. And I mean, he didn't get all of them. It finally freaked out and ran, but he painted its front paws.
Nodding. Nodding.
And now Kailani knows not to eat the one with the nail polish.
That's Garrett's reaction right there.
What?
He's not buying the story at all.
I mean, he can't.
Yeah, it's kind of like a big, like, seriously?
I can't disprove you, but
You watch. You're going to see a bunny with nail polish, and you're going to know that this was the coolest thing ever. And you'll know I was right. And Lucas was right.
It is an incredible story. I'll go ahead and admit to that one. You'll have to get other people to confirm it.
Ask Emmett and Kailani. Emmett had to go get the nail polish.
No, and did he get the nail polish and several other things as well?
Yeah. Yeah.
The kin like him,
Yeah, they do.
except for one. He really doesn't like him.
Well, he is a glass walker. They do have a lot of influence with humans.
I just noticed that he seems to be around the Stargazers a lot.
Yes, I've heard those stories too.
Olaf hangs around with the Stargazers as well. He lives there.
Well, yeah. But Olaf wasn't with us, so we sent Emmett.
Polish, nail polish.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I'm going back on patrol.
Enjoy your coffee, sir.
Mikhail, you can come if you want.
Yes.
I don't care anymore about anything.
I think we've stood around too long.
Maeve, Lucas, you have a good night.
Be safe.
We will.
Will do.
She'll wave them off.
He kind of puts both hands on top of his head. The surrender cobra pose, as they call it. And just walks off into the night.
Certainly do hope they enjoyed their coffee.
I can't wait till he sees one of the ones with nail polish.
Mikhail following?
Oh yeah, he left.
Alright. We'll go ahead and turn to Maeve. Well, there are a few more of them out there, actually.
I'm not even mad if you had to catch them all by hand. I think you did good. Kailani's gonna be so confused. Are they at least all the same nail polish?
Of course. Come on, let's go inside. It's freezing.
She'll agree and turn about and go to shuffle into the restaurant.
Are we ending scene there?
I think so.
Okay. Thank you, players, for playing. Thank you, watchers, for watching.
Thank you, Rabbits.
Thank you, DuPont, for making nail polish. I don't know if it's DuPont or whatever chemical company. Dow. I don't know. Maybe it's Maybelline. I don't know. You have a good night. We'll see you next time on the Living World of Darkness.